Good morning, Blue Herons. Our video looks a little bit different today because since we're kind of switching gears from history to geography for a little bit, I thought it would be best for you to see the subject that we're going to be talking about today instead of just having me talk at you about it. So today we're going to be talking about Southern Oregon. And rather than talk about the history of Southern Oregon, because we've been doing that for a while now, we're actually going to talk about some of the geography of Southern Oregon. So here I have this map that I actually drew quite a while ago, and I apologize because parts of it are a little bit smudgy. But I have this map here of Southern Oregon. There are a lot of different ways to define Southern Oregon. I have chosen here to draw my map extending from the Pacific Ocean along here down to the Oregon-California border, and then over here to the Cascade Mountains, so just west of Klamath Falls, and then up to the north almost to Roseburg. So let's take a look at some of the geography that we have around our region. So if you take a look at this lake, or I'm reading the Crater Lake thing here. If you take a look at this map, what kind of landmarks stand out to you? We have a lot of mountains in our area, right? I can see 3 mountain ranges here. What do you think they're called? We have the biggest one over here on the east side of the valley. We have the Cascade Mountains. And of course, these go all the way into Canada, and they come all the way straight down through Oregon and into California. And then down here on our southern border, the Cascade Mountains meet up with the Siskiyou Mountains, right here. And that's where we get a lot of names for our region. We have Siskiyou Boulevard in Ashland. There's the Siskiyou School in Ashland. There's also a Siskiyou Boulevard in Medford. So this is a common word that we see in our region, and it comes from these Siskiyou Mountains here to the south of us. And then we have these mountains that divide our valley from the coast, and that is of course called the Coast Range. And this is another range that goes all the way north to south in Oregon. And you'll also notice there's a lot of water here in Southern Oregon. Let's take a look at the lakes for a moment. What are the major lakes that we have around here? Well, of course, we went to one this year, right? We have Crater Lake. Just to the north of that, we have Diamond Lake, which is really beautiful. And then you can see, I kind of did its funky little top here, Mount Thielsen. You can see it from parts of Crater Lake, and you have a really great view of Mount Thielsen from Diamond Lake. It's a beautiful mountain. Then, of course, we have Mount McLaughlin over here, which we just drew. And down here, we have Upper Klamath Lake, which if you are up on top of Mount McLaughlin, you have this perfect view of Upper Klamath Lake. And then there's actually Lower Klamath Lake, which is in California. And you can see all the parts of that lake all the way into California from the top of Mount McLaughlin. It's very cool. Let's see, up near where I live, just north of Eagle Point, which is here along Little Butte Creek, just up north of there is Lost Creek Lake, which is a great place to go boating when the boat ramps are open again. And then, of course, in Ashland, we have Emigrant Lake. So those are the 5 main lakes that we have around here. And lots of little ones too. There's also Applegate Lake over here, which for some reason I didn't put in my map, but it's there. And we have a lot of rivers too. So the biggest one that I can think of course, is the Rogue River, which has its headwaters up here at Crater Lake. You can actually stand up here and you can see where the spring that begins the Rogue River comes out of the ground. It's called Boundary Springs. And that comes down here. It's dammed up a little bit here at Lost Creek Lake. Big Butte and Little Butte Creek feed into it. Bear Creek feeds into it. Evans Creek, Graves Creek. The Applegate River is also a tributary of the Rogue River. And it comes out here. This is Gold Beach, here on the ocean. Now, you notice I mentioned that word tributary. So any little creek or river that feeds into a larger river is called a tributary because it contributes water to that big river. We also have the Illinois River here, which kind of comes out in Cave Junction in Selma. That feeds into the Rogue River. And then down here in Brookings, we have the Chetco River, which if you go down here to Brookings at Alfred Loeb State Park, there's a really great swimming hole at the Chetco River. I love it. I plan to go there this summer when we can go outside again. And then if you look north a little ways, we have the North and South Umpqua River, which flow here from Diamond Lake, and they go out towards Roseburg. And then we also have the Coquille River, which flows out here and ends at Coquille at the ocean. So a whole lot. Oh, and I forgot, of course, we can't forget the Klamath River is what feeds Upper Klamath Lake. So this is actually a man-made lake here, a reservoir that was made for drinking water and irrigation water to water farms. And it comes from the Klamath River. So you can see we have a lot of really important landmarks, natural landmarks, around our area. Now, another thing you're going to notice about my map is, do I have any cities on here? I don't. There's really nothing man-made except for lakes. Everything else is natural. It's the land, it's the mountains, it's the rivers and creeks, it's volcanoes, right? So that's kind of what we're going to be focusing on with our next couple of maps. We've made a lot of things that are man-made. We've made classrooms and schools and cities. Now we're going to focus more on the land itself. So try to think if there's anything that I might have left off of this map. If you were to make your own map, is there anything that you would add to it? Is there an important landmark near where you live? A natural landmark that you would add onto a map? See, if it was me, when I looked at an original map, Little Butte Creek wasn't on there. But Little Butte Creek is really important in Eagle Point because it turns the grinding stones of the Butte Creek Mill that's nearly rebuilt out here. So it's very important to our history and to our local geography. So I put it on my map. So maybe there's something else you would add to your map that's important in your local geography. So we are going to discuss this further tomorrow when we draw our own maps in our main lesson books. And I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of the day and the night to think about this. But we really live in a beautiful place. Look at all this wonderful natural geography that we have. We're very lucky to live here. And so close to the ocean too. Even though we have to go all the way around the mountains and back up to get there. That's okay. As the crow flies, it's pretty close. Okay, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you later.